Oh my God!
What's going on, everyone? This is Built by Blake. I am Blake, of which the builds are built, but this time it's Blake from the future. When I was editing this episode, I realized that the whole intro, my mic was not plugged in. And this was pre-COVID times. That's how far I am behind. We have been viciously working and filming and getting lots done. So today we are chucking the front mount intercooler on my Subaru Liberty. It's an interesting one. It's very interesting. Let's get into the video, get into the install. It's as much of a headache slash, well, you'll find out. So anyway, enough about that. We are not in the shed today in today's episode. We are actually in my garage at home because the shed's busy. The shed is very busy. Let's jump in. So allegedly with this kit, bolts on. I have got a cold air intake. It's a K&N one, but it has this heat shield around it, all around here. So my first problem is I need to get that off. If it can come off, it will come off now. Huh, look at that. Easy. So now my game plan is obviously take the front bar off and do all of that. But my game plan is I'm gonna mount the intercooler first, and then work my way through the piping, what I think will be the hardest to the easiest. So that if I get stuck somewhere, I'm stuck at the hardest part. I'm gonna start up here because I feel like this could give me some issues. Somewhere probably under there, through that, through the battery, down, figure that out on the way, down through the front, across through the intercooler at the front, which, and I quote again, no cutting required, direct bolt in. Back up here, through back behind that intake, up there, and then it double backs on itself, goes into the turbo. So let's start stripping some stuff down. We'll strip it, all the old one off, get the front bar off, and then we'll make our way into it. You ready for this? One thing I've always found funny is I actually made this grill out of carbon fiber, and then I found out that you can just buy them out of carbon fiber with 10 times less of the headache. But I made mine, so it's a bit sentimental to me, so I've only ever held it in with blue tack. It just is sitting on blue tack and then the bonnet holds it down. So current situation, bolt-on kit. Pretty sure it's a bolt-on kit for an American car. You'd think they'd be the same, but they're actually not. Obviously their brake booster and everything's on the other side. This is where I'm at. I'm just mocking it up the best I can. Out of the turbo, down, across, into the intercooler, up. This part here, exactly the part that I said is going to be the hardest, very hard. I'm still just gonna mock this up until I start screwing stuff down, because I'm really not convinced just yet at all. Current situation is, this is pretty loose slash hanging out. You might be able to see it. So not touching. I reckon I can probably convince that. Don't really know what's going on here, whether that should be going over or under. That looks pretty reasonable. I feel like over might be a bit easier because of this gap here. It definitely can't go any lower because of the battery. You can see there, that pipe just comes out of there. Straight pipe goes directly down. There's another join there. Joins into this one. That just sits up there somewhere. That then sits there. Comes around to this side, straight up. Straight up there. Straight up there. I just put some masking tape on there to stop it from scratching. Up into the turbo. Is that my own fault for sitting a bloody intercooler pipe on the battery? Piping is done. I say done, I'm probably going to need a bit of Dean's help just with this part. This is all good, that's all good, but this flange, that bolt needs to sit there. And if that was to cock any further that way, it's going to be, it points directly at my ABS. I've already massaged these lines a little bit to get to where it is, so I'm probably just going to chop that flange off, get it re-welded straight, and then it all should be good. The part I'm up to now, we have a pipe here and a pipe down here. We're just going to fit this intercooler in here somehow, and then she's done. So far it hasn't been too bad. Has it been bolt on? No, technically not.
Day 2.
Day number 2. Last night we got it all finished and buttoned up and all sorted out. Today is doomsday for the front bumper. This bad boy is about to go on the chopping block, I would imagine. Let's see what fouls and what doesn't foul. I was worried about the fog lights. It's pretty notorious with these cars. I don't know whether it's notorious with other cars, but the fog lights normally, you either have a front mount or fog lights. That looks like it's going to sit right there, which is good. That fog light there looks like it's going to sit right in this hole here. That part there of the intercooler hits this little recess part, just kind of that corner of the front bar. So I'm going to mark up now roughly where to chop out. And then this middle part, there's like a plastic bit there. More than likely just going to chop all that off to be in line with the bumper. And then go from there. If it needs to be more, then it'll be more. New tools, Dremel, baby. So first time ever using one, first time ever owning one. Just going to go around and chop it all out and see how we go. Here we go.
Minutes later.
I'm going to need a grinder. first things first, the Acuba's back, baby. This is, you may not know this, but I'll sit this down here. I don't even know if you can see me. Can you? I'm not sure. You guys may not know this, but in a lot of YouTube videos, I shouldn't say a lot, I have no experience in YouTube videos. In my experience, when you watch YouTube videos, or when I edit them, some things that can normally take 2 minutes drag out to be hours, days, weeks at this point. This is a week later. The bolt-on kit was not bolt-on. I guess it is bolt-on once you cut it all up and weld it and make it bolt-on, but I'll show you. Comes down there, so that had to get cut and re-welded because it was sitting out over here somewhere. Dean re-welded that for me, what a legend. Had to make an adjustment here on this pipe because it was too long. It was actually sitting out here somewhere, and that would mean I'd have to take off too much of the front bar, more than I already have, which is a scary amount. These tabs here, they're gonna be, what's that called when you do that thing through there and you bolt it in? Nutsert, I think. Yeah, nutsert, that's the word. Up through here, up and then into the intake manifold. Obviously we've got our trusty block off plate on there. I've got a full video on that if you want to go watch how to install that. Or you could just put 2 bolts in. That's how easy it is. But I'm going to start the car now and just see that everything works and everything does what it needs to do and we don't have a vac leak somewhere. Or so over this. This is 10 days at this point. 10 days. Alright, let it rip, potato chip. It looks like we might have done a decent job. Holding vacuum fine. Now I'm going to put these nutserts in, put the intercooler back on the top, so it's actually mounted. Front bar on, take it for a test drive. We won against the bolt-on kit. That little bar that you see underneath this lip, I'm gonna put that on at a later date, probably tomorrow. I'm not gonna film it because it's gonna be some fiddly stuff around here just to make it look nice and mint. But yeah, the car starts and runs now, which is sick. So, smoke weed every day. That's our boost, which is holding vacuum, which is good. So that means there's no real leaks, which is a positive sign. No fuel, not good. For all-round wrap-up, the bolt-on kit was not bolt-on at all. And if I was doing this again, I'll more than likely just buy a whole heap of 2.5-inch tube and just mount the intercooler and then just run everything yourself, custom make it. That's basically what I did with this anyway, except now there's silicone joiners everywhere where you could just have nice solid pipes. So anyway, I'm about to go for a drive. I've heard that sometimes the blow-off valve, like the flutter, can be better through the front mount. So if that's worth noting, I'll chuck it at the end of the video. But if not, thanks for tuning in. Give it a like if it helped you out. See you on the next one. Bye!
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
First drive. You what?
I'm just going to look at a job, and when I'm going to paint and water down at Boost House.
Oh, okay. All good. Because I got to BJ Howe's Meadowland and busted into a f***ing intercooler pipe.
I'm about to drive up there right now.
Oh, hello. Thank you. So, first drive. That's handy. The whole car just fell over. Like it just, it didn't fall over completely, but I was like, uh-oh, like I knew exactly when it fell. The way that it dosed, holy shit. If it sounds like I think it's gonna sound, this is gonna be crazy. Oh God! Oh my God! Listen to that! Oh my God!
as you shut the door on everything we knew. You're too late for love, love.